On today's Minute of the Apes, what part of the South are we from?
Well, I don't know. Where are you from?
I tell you what, we need to go on that old that Wichita, up in Wichita, Texas. And,
What? What are you talking about?
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape! Fine, Bob. The only good human is a dead human! There is fire, there is smoke. Now fight like apes! The minute of the 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 apes!
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time. I'm Todd. I grew up about 50 miles north of Dallas, have by and large lived in this area all my life. Richard, where did you grow up and why? You said you have a bit of an association with the dialect from a specific region. What is that, and did you ever grow up in that area?
I was born in Oklahoma, correct? And I was there till I was about 7 or 8.
And tell, this whole tease came from the point that in between we were kind of joking around about the dialects and people asking where you're from, things like that. What was it you said that people peg because of that?
Instead of saying well, I'll say wool.
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 And Sean, you're from down in Sugarland, Texas.
Yeah, I was born in Houston. I went to school in Arkansas for 4 years, but yeah, I've lived in Texas. I've lived in Oklahoma for 2 years.
That's true. I forgot you moved there.
Besides that, yeah, I lived in Texas.
Did you pick up any weird habits there or diseases from Oklahoma?
And I got out as fast as I could.
Look,
We call them crawdads in Oklahoma instead of crawfish.
Well, so my family reaches Maine, Texas, but my grandmother's is down Louisiana. So the idea of crawdads, it wasn't crawfish, it was crawdads.
Crawdads. We call them crawdads up there.
What is she doing?
Hi.
And now she's
you
really
helping
tangled with some
Gertie?
cables. See, we said crawdads.
Y'all talk for a second.
Trying to figure out what else we would say up there.
You didn't call them mud guppies or wait?
They're pecans.
Pecans?
Okay, it is a pecan.
No, it's pecans. Because do you open a con of soup?
No,
you open
no,
a can
Sean.
of soup.
No, I'm not
Pecans.
getting.
Pecans.
It is pecan.
Pecan pie.
All right, enjoy your con of soup.
You cannot be from the South and call it a pecan.
Do
You
you
officially have lost your Southern card at this point.
Do you call your
Sean, there are so many words we could do this with.
Do you call your father's sister aunt or aunt?
Aunt is the correct way, but I call her aunt.
Aunt. Yeah.
Yeah, we say it's mostly ant up in
So,
Oklahoma.
and again,
Yeah.
if I'm doing that, then I can do pecan, and it is a pecan. It is not a pecan.
All right, enjoy.
Oh, Jesus. Richard, how are you today?
I'm good.
This is one of those moments again where I'm just going to talk to you because he starts that stuff.
Where Gertie went now.
Okay.
All right.
Any more colloquial discussions?
My grandmother's name was Winona.
I do wonder. Really?
I had a Velma as a grandmother.
Wilma,
I had
Winona,
Richard Graham,
Wallace, Willard. Those are my
Estelle.
Estelle.
And why can't I think of my dad's mom? It's like literally Lily. So, I mean, a little bit of a Southern kind of thing. Anyway, that's enough of that
That's
talk.
random.
Sean,
Yes.
are you ready?
Yes.
Tell us what's going on Minute 19.
All right, we're going to start minute 19 with a chip on horseback dismounting and ends with the humans being mocked for their odors.
All right, here it comes. Minute 19, Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes.
This one looked at me. Take your stinking hands off me, you damn dirty human! Yeah!
As Men 19, we have an Oberon's worth of apes and humans, 2 displaced pods worth of humans and apes, and humans running and apes chasing, and now a city. I don't know what's going on.
So, visual recap, we start with a shot that actually kind of tells us where Marky Mark is. We finally see a wide shot that helps us understand the moment. He's laying off to the side of the cart as the humans are being followed in. We see a close-up of a chimpanzee that we'll talk about in just a moment. We see more humans being followed on. We see Marky Mark looking up and the chimp making a comment. We officially have talking apes. We have interactions with Marky Mark. Marky Mark grabs the gorilla by the ankle, does not take that kindly. We then see humans used to pull carts instead of horses. They ride the horses, but the humans pull the cart. We see them marching back to what apparently is Ape City. We see within that city as the cart's brought in, and that's pretty much it. So, again, that opening shot helps us a whole lot to understand that after he was knocked out, they apparently brought him over to where the cart is and laid him down. That would have been a nice shot before we saw or immediately afterwards, when we'd seen that approaching chimp. If we'd seen Marky laying here and the horse legs walking into frame, we would have immediately drawn it together. It's still a leap from the previous shot to this one to go, oh, I get they're putting a moment together. But again, the lava planes work. I like the composition of the shot with the horse legs here. It just feels, at this point, I'm actually going to blame the editor a little bit. It just seems a little mushed.
It does. And we're kind of bouncing back and
She
forth.
sees Barney again. Hang on.
Almost all the shots are kind of a little too tight, so I can see what's happening. We have the one establishing of the cart itself and the humans being tossed in, and then we have our chimp on the horseback, but we don't see the horse. Then we get another tide of another ape throwing humans in the thing. Goes back to another tide of our thing. It's just I need a little more of a wider shot to see where everybody's actually located.
And, if this had been the first film, you would have got, okay, so if Charlton had been knocked out and we'd seen it go fuzzy of frame to tell us he's lost consciousness, the next thing would have been a shot of his feet being drug across it and thrown down so we'd know he's been pulled over, dropped. That would have helped all of this. And especially, it would keep from getting that jump to knock and over to the shot. I agree with you that even a high shot, anything like that kind of just could have told me the proximity of everything and what's going on. It just, I love the lava plains. I love this idea of the elevated little bit where the horse rides up on it. I think that's cool. It just, there's no room to breathe in it whatsoever.
And I know it's like a hunt and stuff like that or whatever they're doing, but I wish they would show us some happy chimpanzees. Everybody's angry. Everybody's screaming and hissing and beating and we also should have again, this should be another part where Davidson talks, because when he goes, this one looked at me, Davidson should have been, I'm not supposed to fucking look at an ape? What the fuck's going on?
All right, so replay the minute for just a second. The first, not to play it back, but just look at it for a second. The minute we have Tim Roth chimp and Davidson on the ground, I just want you to imagine that they're in a Zoom meeting and they're not wearing pants. I know, seriously. There's literally... It's all just up here.
Chest up.
It's all just up. They literally put on their Zoom meeting pants or Zoom meeting shirt. Both of them are not wearing pants right now.
It's Star Wars where Tarkin is wearing slippers because his feet are out of the shot, so he doesn't want to put on those stupid boots.
Well, I heard Lucas was going to go back in this and actually animate bodies for them.
Oh, there you
show them walking and riding horses now.
Put some fart jokes in there. Some poo-poo jokes.
Even the way Marky Mark wakes up.
She's
she's on my backpack. I don't care.
Okay,
I just want to make sure.
I covered the cords. I hope that would help. Yeah.
Even the way he wakes up is just sort of like, okay, Mark, we're on you, and wake up. And he just looks, and it's like there's no rubbing of the eyes. I'm sorry. Have either of you ever actually been knocked out?
I have passed out. I have not been knocked out.
I've been knocked out. I actually have injury-related epilepsy from being knocked out numerous times when I was a kid. And I am telling you, when you knock out, it is like. And when you come back, it's the most disorienting.
You're dizzy.
Your head is just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I passed out from donating plasma and not eating beforehand, and I just stood up, and the next thing I know, people were like, all right, you don't move, take it easy.
Right.
Don't.
Yeah. And the fact that all he does is the camera slowly pushes in on him, and he kind of goes, "Ooh." You know, it's bad. Now, I think the shot of Tim Roth in makeup is fabulous.
yeah,
He
the
looks-
makeup looks great.
It's not
All
pan-
the
he has
makeup
no
looks
pants
great.
on, but the makeup looks great.
So
I
let's,
mean, you're not having a second set of lips behind lips.
Right.
Yeah. Teeth built into the mask itself. Yeah, you were getting. I mean, as great as the makeup was in the '60s, this is far superior. Yes.
What do you think? What do you think of that as the opening line?
Oh, get your.
This one looked at me.
Oh, this one looked at me. Yeah.
yeah, you know, I'm kind of okay with that. I thought it doesn't bother me. Real quick with Tim Roth, I want to touch on him. If you don't know Tim Roth, I mean, he's famous of Pulp Fiction. He was in The Hateful Eight. The man has been in tons and tons and tons of stuff. 111 credits, still working. He's going to be in She-Hulk. Wasn't he the Abomination?
He's the Abomination, yeah.
So I mean, the dude's been everywhere. If you don't know who Tim Roth is,
Yeah, you saw him
probably
briefly in Ten Rings, yeah.
you know who he is. He's one of those actors that, trust me, you know him. I think that the lip work with the makeup is outstanding. If what you're wanting is to eliminate the idea of
And a protrusion that's all makeup.
yeah, and that you're having to black out the mouth and you'll still see the secondary teeth, and this fixes a lot of those issues by then putting the kind of grayish goatee around his face. It's supposed to be grayed hair. That also kind of fixes the idea of
It does, yeah.
the jaw. It really
Yeah, it
does
helps.
hide a lot of it. It's a brilliant idea.
And to give him the flat nose, they build up on the nose so that they can take it away and give him that flat ape nose. Yeah.
And that's one thing, you know, it took me forever with Apes because of growing up watching Planet of the Apes where they had those little pug noses on the end of the snout.
Yeah.
Then when I would actually see an ape that had that flat nose, I'm like, well, what the fuck's wrong with that ape? They're supposed to have little pug noses.
That ape is wrong. Why? Where is the second set of teeth?
In some ways, the design of what the ape looks like is not going to be that different from when we finally get Andy Serkis and they're doing motion capture and all that kind of stuff. They're the same kind of face. You know, it's that flat little snout, very human-esque. I love the design. I think it's outstanding. And, you know, there's so many times where with these movies where I feel like we're just beating up on them. I want to take that moment to again say, I get it. This is brilliant. I would have liked Stan Winston because it looked a little even more realistic, but I think this is pretty damn cool. So what did you think of his first line?
I was fine with it. I thought what I didn't like was the moment.
The
was the
twisting,
moment,
the next one?
The moment next of it where they kind of move in on Marky Mark and he's got to go. They almost stay on it too long, like just a beat longer than we need to, so that he's having to take this moment of surprise and make it longer than it needs to be. They could have cut that beat just a little bit. What then I find odd is that he then has to reach
out.
behind for help. Who's he reaching out to?
It would have been
my friend, my buddy
Yeah.
over here that's just been standing behind me that's also happens to be another ape.
Well, what would have worked better is if he had moved his other arm first and started pushing himself back, so that his second arm, then he moves his arm and touch
his foot. Like he puts his hand on the foot
Yeah.
as opposed to reaches for it as if he's looking for help.
Yeah.
Another small detail. He's dirty and nasty. He's been in the jungle. Man does not have pit sweat.
That's true.
There is no pit sweat there whatsoever. You would not notice this, but I'm gonna blame it on super science.
Well, I'm thinking about
astronaut
you
suits.
doing. I was thinking about you doing the variants when you were in the Power Rangers outfit or whatever, and you were sweating just through that.
Through that. Yeah, no, there should be a little bit of something to make him look a little
Just more wet. Yeah,
But this is astronaut technology.
I also
it's
have a
moisture
huge
whisking.
Yeah.
That's
I have
what
a
it is.
huge problem with already how completely dirty, how completely torn up his uniform is. I have no problem with tears. I have no problem with dirt,
Where,
but
where
it
did
wouldn't
he
be
lose a sleeve? if you
exactly.
look? Yeah.
There's too much, and that should be.
I've got to show off these forearms, baby.
Yeah, I
I gotta lose a sleeve. Come on.
But that should be where Tim Roth's line should not only be this one looked at me or whatever.
What is he wearing? Yeah.
And then what are those clothes? Where did he get that? They must have stolen it from us somehow. Anything like that would make more sense than this. I do want to call it cool costume design because did you notice the feet on the gorilla?
Oh yeah, you can see the toes.
Yeah, they're open-toed boots, so you can see the toes of the gorilla.
Yeah, you can see his little titties.
Did you see that yet?
Yes.
Now,
you see his little piggies. This
Now-
little piggy.
Richard, have you found the toes yet?
I'm looking at him.
When Marky Mark reaches
Right
out.
when he reaches. If you look bottom of frame, you can see toes.
I'm gonna do. big screen of this one. It's a little dark. Oh yeah.
I'll let you look at that.
Look at that.
Little toes. They're cool.
that,
It's cool
yeah.
little toes. I like that. That's a neat way of.
Well, I mean, since they're
Updating
basically
the
other
old
hands,
ones.
yeah,
Yeah.
you would want them available to
Yeah, I think
grasp
it's
something.
cool. Now,
Then of course we have the reference.
and here I'm
We
gonna
have the reference.
play it back because this is my first 100% out and out grown moment as a reference to the original film. I've groaned, but this is grown because of reference to the original film. Here it comes.
Take your stinking hands off me, you damn dirty human!
Okay, it doesn't work.
It also,
No, it doesn't.
And it just, I mean, and God bless Michael. I can never remember.
Michael Clark Duncan.
I always want to mix his name up.
How long has he been gone now?
10
A
years.
while.
Is it
yeah.
really that long? Wow.
But Michael Clark Duncan sounds like he's reading a line. It does not sound like. I mean, it feels like you would say, you're like, get your hands off me, you damn stinking human. But he is saying, get your damn hands off me, you stinking human.
But I think that
Damn dirty human.
it feels like somebody said to him, "You are the grunty gorilla, and everything you're going to say is like that." And I like him. I always thought he was an interesting person. I thought some of the things he did were great.
Green Mile and
Yeah, Green Mile is
Armageddon.
fantastic. In
Come
Green
and get
Mile.
Papa Bear. Woo.
But this is the first moment, 100%, that I felt like they went, "Okay, we
gotta
have
do
to have
this.
a direct
we have
reference."
To do this.
And
Well,
but
since it's not going to be on Earth, we've already gotten rid of the Statue of Liberty at the end, so we've got to put these things in here.
and
yeah.
but you know what? Let's flip it just a little bit instead of damn dirty ape, damn dirty human.
And you know exactly when the screenwriter did that, he put his pen down. He walked out for the day. He got a beer. He patted himself on the back. He
I
said,
just earned my paycheck.
I did this.
No, you're
Real
totally right.
man
You're
of
totally right. You're totally-
genius.
they were in that writer's room, just happy as they figured out where they
I
could put
did
this
it. We are
reference in
done
here.
for today.
Yeah, exactly. To your point about the delivery of the line, I think Michael Clark Duncan's issue with it was not too much of one or the other. It really needed to be all. What's his name from the last
Charlton
movie?
Heston. Oh wait, from the last movie.
Roddy McDowell,
Claude. Was his
Claude
name?
Atkins.
Oh,
It either needed to be all of that style, or it needed to be more like Tim Roth, where it's just kind of speaking a line. It needed to be one of the two.
Yeah. You know,
yes.
I at least feel good that we can say that there are things that they are doing that are good or improvements or a new fresh take on things. You know, again, the lava planes, the costume design, the makeup, a lot of those things. But then my second groan of the movie comes when I see the chimp whip and it's humans pulling a cart. There are no humans that what is that, 6 of them?
That
That are
six
gonna
of them that
pull
could pull
a cart
20 people.
full of humans.
I was gonna. That was my next point.
You're
as
a
well.
strong person.
My next point: there's 6 people that are dragging that they could not carry a cart, like could not drag a cart, and look like they're not even bothered back. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
But they're
Here we
big.
go.
They're big
It's slow
boys.
walking.
They're big boys.
I'm sorry. That is when.
They're doing their CrossFit.
Okay. I appreciate the whimsical approach of Tim Burton so much. I love so many things he's done. But this is the point where the director has to step and go, yeah, that's not a good idea. That we got to
Or
have.
at least do more people up there.
Yeah, it's got to be something. Maybe maybe they're scooping up horse shit. I don't care what it is. There's something you can do with humans, but this doesn't make sense, and it is so obvious what you're trying to do that it is obviously bad.
I almost wish the shot had been from the perspective of on the ground of the humans in front and the whip coming down on top of them and the look of pain in their face as they lunge forward versus the shot from behind, because the shot behind looks like they're not pulling anything.
Yeah.
And then
But I will say this next moment when we actually get to see the city
You get the nice
and the
matte
cart in it
painting, yes.
is probably the most Tim Burton moment for me of the film. Oh, it's a Tim Burton film.
Are
I
you
seen
talking about the wide shot, beginning
Yes.
from the wide shot when we see the cart, heavy right of frame, and we
This
see
is the first time
mountain?
where I'm like, okay, I'm going back into a Tim Burton world.
Yeah.
I'm not on a spaceship. I'm not in a fake jungle. Even the lava planes didn't do anything. But this looks
very Tim Burton-esque.
magical.
Yeah.
Magical might be the wrong word, but
No,
it's-
I think that's because you can have magical that's whimsical. You know, you don't have to have just Disneyfied magic. You can have those things that this is otherworldly and it's from someone's imagination. 100%.
this looks like something from Tim Burton's imagination, and this is where I'm like, okay, now I'm getting into this.
I
film.
agree. I think that at this point you're at least kind of venturing into what you would hope and expect from a Tim Burton film.
Correct.
But as Richard stated, we see them going away from the lava plains into a, you know, it's a weird mountain-esque thing that's built up with trees.
It's very strange that there was a forest next to a lava bed next to this other ape city, and you'd think they would just build the forest up instead of this other place, but we don't.
We don't know
exactly.
why they're not in the forest itself, and why they've created a safe haven and a kind of a mountain.
I
area.
wanted a little Monty Python where two apes on horse pull up, and one goes, Ape City, and the other one goes, it's only a matte painting.
So we then get, as they move in, we hear someone, it sounds like a child to me, screaming, "Stinking humans."
Which goes back to what Michael said a second ago when you get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty human.
Mm-hmm.
And now all the apes are saying they stink. So he was literally saying these humans stink. Because all the apes do in the next scene, in the next part of the scene, is chastise them for being stinky humans.
Yeah, I don't know why you need anybody screaming out. I'd rather see something where they look and like move away from the humans or things like that. Maybe because that can tell you a number of things. Either they all have disdain for humans, or maybe they have disdain for the fact that they're rounding up humans and bringing them into the city. Whatever it may be.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't show them throwing mud at them and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Rotten fruit.
By the
heads of
way,
lettuce.
everybody be very quiet. Gertie's given up.
I know.
And she's asleep over here beside me. So with that, I think that we've pretty much reached the minute we ought to be quiet and move on to the Friday. How does everyone feel about moving on to Friday?
It's the quiet storm.
Okay.
Well,
So-
we're going to the city.
We're in the city, and we'll be back tomorrow. Until then, everyone have a great day. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Coming on.